We had agreed a few years ago to have a new man.
Have you ever imagined that the biggest battle in football might not be played inside a stadium, but behind closed doors? For billions of fans, FIFA is the heart of world football. It is the organization that brings nations together through the FIFA World Cup and creates moments that become part of sporting history. Every 4 years, the world stops to watch football's greatest tournament. But today, the spotlight is no longer focused on the players or the matches. Instead, it has shifted toward the people running the game. At the center of this story is FIFA President Gianni Infantino. Over the past several years, Infantino has overseen some of the biggest changes in modern football. The FIFA World Cup has expanded, commercial partnerships have grown, and football has reached more countries than ever before. Supporters say these decisions have made the game stronger and more global. Critics argue that FIFA has become too powerful and that some major decisions have created unnecessary controversy. In recent weeks, those questions have become louder. Instead of celebrating football, newspapers, television channels, and social media have been filled with debates about FIFA's leadership. Reports of disagreements, criticism, and important meetings quickly became headlines around the world. Fans who usually spend their time discussing tactics and transfers suddenly found themselves asking a different question. What is really happening inside FIFA? Some football officials believe the organization is simply going through another difficult period that every global institution faces. Others believe these events could shape the future of football for years to come. The pressure has continued to grow because the next FIFA World Cup is expected to be the biggest in history. With more teams, more supporters, and more attention than ever before, every decision made by FIFA is now being watched by millions of people across the globe. For Gianni Infantino, this is more than a challenge. It is a test of leadership. Can he guide FIFA through growing criticism while keeping the world's biggest sporting event on track? Or is football entering a new chapter where fans, players, and football organizations demand greater transparency than ever before? To understand the answer, we first need to understand how this story began. The discussion began to grow after a series of important decisions inside FIFA attracted worldwide attention. While FIFA continued to present its long-term vision for the future of football, several football stakeholders raised questions about governance, transparency, and the way major decisions were being handled. Soon, the conversation spread far beyond boardrooms. Sports journalists began investigating every new development. Former players shared their opinions during television interviews. Football analysts debated whether these disagreements were simply part of running the world's biggest sport or a warning sign that FIFA needed to rebuild trust. On social media, millions of supporters joined the conversation. Some defended Gianni Infantino, arguing that leading an organization responsible for global football is one of the most difficult jobs in sports. They pointed to the financial growth of FIFA, the expansion of international competitions, and the increasing popularity of football in new markets as proof that his leadership had delivered results. Others believed success on paper was not enough. According to them, football is built on trust as much as trophies. They argued that every major decision should be clearly explained to fans, clubs, leagues, and national associations because football belongs to everyone, not just those making decisions behind closed doors. As public debate intensified, every official statement from FIFA received enormous attention. Every press conference was carefully examined. Every interview created fresh headlines. Even the smallest comments were analyzed by football fans around the world. Despite the criticism, FIFA maintained that it remained focused on its long-term mission. Officials emphasized that preparations for the FIFA World Cup 2026 continued as planned, and that the organization remained committed to developing football across every continent. But public attention did not disappear. Instead, every passing day brought new questions. Would FIFA be able to restore complete confidence before the biggest World Cup ever organized? Could Gianni Infantino convince both supporters and critics that the organization was moving in the right direction? Or would this controversy become one of the defining moments of his presidency? No one knew the answers, but one thing had become clear. The football world was watching more closely than ever before, waiting for the next move from the most powerful organization in the game as the days passed. One reality became impossible to ignore. Modern football had changed. It was no longer judged only by what happened during 90 minutes on the pitch. Fans wanted accountability, transparency, and leadership they could trust. Every major decision made by FIFA was now discussed instantly across television, news websites, podcasts, and social media. That level of attention created enormous pressure. Every announcement could become international news within minutes. For Gianni Infantino, the challenge was not only managing football's biggest organization, but also maintaining the confidence of billions of supporters who expected FIFA to protect the integrity of the game. History shows that FIFA has faced difficult moments before. Despite criticism and controversy, the organization has continued to organize the world's greatest football tournament, bringing together nations from every continent. That history is one reason many people believe FIFA will overcome its latest challenges as well. Others, however, believe this moment is different. They argue that the modern football world is more connected than ever before. Information spreads instantly, supporters demand greater openness, and every important decision is examined from every possible angle. That means FIFA's future will depend not only on successful tournaments, but also on the trust it builds with fans, players, clubs, and national football associations. As preparations for the 2026 FIFA World Cup continue, expectations remain incredibly high. The tournament promises unforgettable matches, new stars, passionate supporters, and moments that could become part of football history. But before the first whistle is blown, FIFA must first convince the football world that its leadership is ready for the responsibility that comes with organizing the biggest sporting event on earth. Whether you support Gianni Infantino or disagree with his decisions, one fact remains undeniable. The future of football affects every fan. The decisions made today will influence future World Cups, future generations of players, and the direction of the game for years to come. Only time will reveal how this story ends. Will FIFA emerge stronger than ever? Will this controversy eventually fade into history? Or will it become a turning point that changes world football forever? The answers have not yet been written. But until they are, the eyes of the football world will remain firmly fixed on FIFA. The story of FIFA is still being written. Every decision, every meeting, and every announcement will continue to shape the future of international football. What happens behind closed doors today may influence what millions of fans experience when the FIFA World Cup finally begins. For Gianni Infantino, the road ahead is filled with expectations. Supporters will judge him by the success of the tournament, while critics will continue to examine every important decision made under his leadership. That is the reality of leading the most powerful organization in world football. The coming months will test FIFA in many ways. Preparing stadiums, coordinating with host nations, ensuring smooth operations, and maintaining the trust of fans around the world are all equally important. Organizing the biggest sporting event on earth is not only about football, it is also about leadership, planning, and global cooperation. Many experts believe the expanded FIFA World Cup could create new opportunities for smaller football nations, giving more countries the chance to compete on the world's biggest stage. Others argue that expanding the tournament also brings new challenges, including scheduling, player workload, and maintaining the quality of competition. These debates will continue. That is part of modern football. Every generation faces difficult questions, and every generation helps shape the future of the game. Regardless of different opinions, one thing unites everyone: the passion for football. From children kicking a ball in the streets to packed stadiums filled with supporters, football has always had the power to bring people together across cultures, languages, and borders. That is why every important decision made by FIFA matters so much. Because those decisions affect players chasing their dreams, coaches building their teams, nations preparing for the World Cup, and billions of supporters who wait years to watch football's greatest tournament. Whether this controversy becomes a small chapter in FIFA's history or a turning point for the organization will only be known in the years ahead. Until then, football fans around the world will continue watching, analyzing, debating, and hoping that the beautiful game remains bigger than any controversy. Because in the end, presidents will change, officials will come and go, debates will rise and fall, but football will always belong to the fans. And perhaps that is the most important lesson of all. Script Yahan Tak Kadam Hui Hai. Agla hisapon kulia continue liken. There is one final question every football fan should ask. When history looks back at this period, what will it remember? Will it remember a controversy that briefly dominated the headlines? Or will it remember a moment that pushed FIFA to become stronger, more transparent, and more accountable to the football community? Only time can answer that. What we do know is that football has survived countless challenges throughout its history. It has overcome political disputes, financial problems, and moments of uncertainty. Yet every time, the game has continued to unite people in a way that few other sports ever could. That is why the responsibility carried by FIFA is so important. Every decision made today has an impact on tomorrow's players, tomorrow's supporters, and tomorrow's World Cups. As preparations continue for the biggest FIFA World Cup ever staged, billions of eyes will remain fixed on every move FIFA makes. Success will not be measured only by full stadiums or exciting matches. It will also be measured by the confidence that fans place in the organization leading world football. For Gianni Infantino, this may become one of the defining chapters of his presidency. If the tournament is remembered as one of the greatest World Cups in history, many of today's debates may eventually fade away. But if new controversies continue to emerge, the questions being asked today could become even louder tomorrow. That is why the months ahead will be watched so closely by football fans across every continent. The future of the world's biggest sport is not decided by one match, one player, or one headline. It is built through thousands of decisions made over many years. And those decisions will continue shaping football long after this story ends. For now, one thing remains certain. The world is watching. The fans are waiting. And football's next chapter is about to begin.